Hi everyone, I'm Michelle and welcome to the Inner Child Glow Up. If you are here, you may be experiencing a shift in consciousness or longing for an existential change. Some of us call it a midlife crisis, quarter life crisis, whatever have you. I am here to help you identify and unravel the things that have kept you stuck, unhappy, anxious, self-destructive, or simply unaligned with your true self. If you have felt that pain and struggle, if you have felt that you have made so many mistakes or have not overcome certain things in your life, well, I'm here to tell you it's not necessarily your fault. First of all, mistakes are okay, and that is how we learned. That is how we learn, right? But our society has designed us to keep going and going on a treadmill and on a roadmap that's not necessarily designed for humans to be happy. This roadmap was designed to produce numbers, not create. Like have these goals by the time you're 30, your house, your car, your 3.5 kids. But where did we go wrong? Why are we neglecting human emotional intelligence, our needs, and our growth? Also called personal development. Connecting with people, being the best version of you, letting go of the past, and letting your own light shine. I can get very deep into my own experience and how I discovered this journey and discovered how to unravel. But first, I am just going to help set you on a course of small micro decisions, micro habits that you can weave into your life starting right now. Now, most people are afraid to change. You don't have to quit your job. You don't have to leave your family, or you don't have to move to another country. Don't take it to that extreme. Some people have such a fear of little change that it seems that extreme. Now, what if I told you that through this process, you are not changing who you are? In fact, I'm helping to get you to discover who you really are. And most people still don't know. And that's okay, because you have spent so much time, years, decades, your whole life being who you think you should be according to society, cultural expectations, religious beliefs, expectations of your family and friends, your parents. Now, I'm not saying cut everyone off. I'm just saying let's get you to a happier you so that you can contribute to a better environment. Starts with yourself first. Now, just like exercise, change does not happen overnight. And this is why I'm going to introduce you to micro habits that will help develop your inner self muscles. This is about self-love, not self-sacrifice. If the word self-sacrifice resonates with you, you are in the right place. My whole life, I have operated on self-sacrifice. If I can make that change, so can you, and I will guide you through it. So take your notes out. Number 1, spend time with yourself and by yourself. Here are my suggestions. That includes meditation, journaling, every day, 10 minutes out of the day in solitude, in silence. Even if you start with 10 to 30 minutes a day, this helps you organize the thoughts in your head. Now, in this society, we have social media, the computer, our kids, everything going on, so much stimulation that these 10 minutes with yourself, by yourself, help you prioritize your day. For me, my alone time is my exercise time. Now, if you have a workout buddy, you might want to get rid of them. Sorry, at least temporarily. Now, hear me out. I exercise every day, so I alternate either yoga or a 2-mile walk. And that time is spent in meditation by myself, in my body, mental health with benefits to my body. Don't spend that time on the phone talking to someone else. Now, sometimes I walk with my daughter, and that's okay. She's usually on her listening to music or something, but I make sure I'm not somewhere else. I'm fully present in my body, even if I'm just walking next to her, but we're not engaged in a serious conversation. And sometimes I listen to music or podcasts, something that I can just zone out and be alone with my thoughts. As for yoga, it forces you to be in meditation. For those of you who don't practice yoga or who don't know, it really is a meditation that's good. It's good for your mental health with a side effect of getting really physically fit. But anyways, when you quiet your mind, you will start to get what we call downloads. I didn't know what that was before, but for me, they are messages and creative ideas. Now, for example, I did my yoga this morning. Now, yoga is actually how I learn to meditate. You get into that meditative groove. If you're a writer, you know what it means to get into that writing creative groove. Or if you're a runner, you know what it means to get into the runner's high. It's much like that. But sometimes I find it very hard to write for my other channel. But this morning I did my yoga and my head was clear, and I sat down and I wrote all the words, every detail, every sentence I needed to write this particular show. So I am so proud of myself right now that I can record this show, start this channel, and stop procrastinating once and for all. Okay, now that leads to number 2, keep a journal. If you don't know where to begin with journaling, oh, I hate journaling, I hate writing. Now, I'm just going to tell you 3 simple things to write down every day. Actually, it's one thing. 3 gratitudes. Get up in the morning and write 3 things you're grateful for, even if they have not come to fruition. For example, thank you, God, for my 4-bedroom house overlooking the water, even though right now I live in a 1-bedroom condo. Doesn't matter. I know it's coming, and this sets your mind and vibration to receive more of these gratitudes. At the end of the day, you will write 3 things you're grateful for that happen during the day. You will find you have more to be grateful for than not. We are so programmed to complain about what we don't have, and I can't believe this happened today, and we're so focused on the negative that we completely miss the positive, and it puts your mind in a negative vibration, which just attracts more negativity. So start there, and with your journal throughout the day, anytime I have a thought, a desire, I write it down. Like a Tokyo Disneyland vacation, I want that. I'm going to write it down. Thoughts turn into things. Writing gives it power, and it can be as simple as that vacation I want, or I feel happy. I really feel at peace today. Write it down. But also write when you're not so happy, when you're angry, if you're triggered, if somebody said something to make you upset. We all need an outlet to get something out of, whether that's a therapist or a friend. Don't let it be road rage, and don't let it fester inside. Sometimes writing it down just validates your own feelings. Like, it's okay to be angry, and then it helps you unravel and figure out, how can I self-soothe? How can I feel better in the moment? And then you might realize it's not such a big deal. And this is how we learn to soothe our inner child. What am I feeling? Why am I feeling? And how can I make it better in the moment so that I don't become resentful, so I don't lash out at people around me? Feeling those thoughts are actually healthy, and then you get it out. Do not deny yourself the chance to feel sad or angry. And I think also our society makes it like, oh no, you should always be grateful and happy. But there are times where, yeah, you can just, I'm not feeling good today. Get through it. And then the next moment could be better. Okay. Now, number 3. how to create time for personal development. This is the hardest and the simplest part. It really is. The "I do not have time" excuse is an excuse. The secret now is discipline. I struggle with this. I struggle with this, you guys. Everyone does. Listen, you don't have to be perfect to start something. You don't have to be perfect, period, because in the eyes of God, we are actually all created perfect. But that also means we are created with the capacity to keep growing and expanding. I found that all we need to do to create time is eliminate bad habits or activities that waste time or that no longer serve us. So let me give you some examples because this is going to take a lot of practice, especially if you have some people-pleasing tendencies in you, especially if you have a hard time saying no. It took me a long time, admittedly, because I'm a people pleaser and because I made it, how do I say, my need for perfectionism caused me to procrastinate. It's kind of one and the same. There's things you just need to bite the bullet and do. So this is where you have to examine your daily activities. For me, it is scrolling, and I still do it every night instead of just going to sleep and having extra sleep so my mind can be fresh. I love to scroll. So that's something I'm working on, and you guys can keep me accountable. But other things I had to eliminate. Now, this is going to seem harsh, but I had to do it. At the time that I started my first YouTube channel, I knew that I had to cut out social time and social activities with people who were not in the same mindset, aligned with what I wanted for myself. When I had decided, get serious about your first YouTube channel, I had to eliminate my Friday night out with the girls. Often because, first of all, I needed that Friday to prepare my videos. But those Friday night sessions would often just be a dumping ground for the complaint department, overeating, over drinking, gossiping. And let's face it, when you overeat and you drink alcohol, the next day I'm marooned. So, one decision could be a chain reaction for the next, but was any of that contributing to the time I needed to spend into my videos? I couldn't take that time from work. I couldn't take that time from my daughter. What could I eliminate, especially if gossiping and drinking does not actually contribute to anything? So the next thing is that I worked for myself, which also gave people the idea, and I was in a network group at the time. We were required to have meetings. It would give people the idea that I could just drop anything and meet them at any time according to their schedule. And it was my own lack of discipline and my own lack of boundaries, not knowing how to say no. And being a people pleaser, I didn't want to disappoint people, but I ended up with self-sacrifice of saying no to me, but saying yes to other people. Because if I had to go out and meet you for coffee or lunch, I had to stop what I was doing. If I was working on a video, I had to stop, drive somewhere, meet you for an hour, and then come back home. So that's at least 2 hours. And then, if you're out of the groove, you have to get yourself back into the groove of the work that you were doing when you left it behind. And just the things were not getting done. So I had to isolate myself for good reason. I had to spend more time with myself. And when you spend more time with yourself, you're going to see, why was I even doing the other things? I need to focus energy towards myself, not towards other people. Even when those people were paying me to do their makeup or to teach them makeup or to teach them YouTube. Yes, it was still a money exchange, but I then ended up concentrating my energy into other people's channels, which was pulling away from building my own channel. Again, a self-sacrifice. but there's a word for it, not just self-sacrifice. It's called buffering. It gives you the sense of being productive, but you're still procrastinating on what you actually need to do. So you're busy, but not like doing the thing that you need to do. This is common everywhere. I remember when I worked in an office, 9 to 5, there was this lady who would just, like, she would just look frantic and then every now and then do an email, and I knew she was doing nothing. Everyone knew she was doing nothing. So, just an example of that. Something you do to prevent you from doing the thing you need to do. So even if you're not creating a channel or starting a business and you want something, you have a goal, personal growth, weight loss, any type of change, saving money, be aware of who you are hanging around and if they are moving in the same direction of you or are they bringing you down. Like, for example, right now I have a money saving goal. So my bestie at work, we're like, how much are we going to spend on lunch today? Is it $8? Is it $10? And let's not go over that, okay? Because we're also trying to keep our little waist thin. Now, another example, like last year during Christmas, I had a weight loss goal and I was doing so well. Then all of a sudden, my girlfriend, she desperately wants me to go to this cookie party, cookie and wine. And there were so many reasons why I couldn't go. First of all, like cookies and wine, nope, that adds to the waistline. I already know wine does not do good things for me. Now, also don't let people tell you that like one cookie is going to be okay. So there were other reasons too. Like I had a wedding to style that weekend, and taking that time out to go to that party would take away from my sleep. Having alcohol messes up my sleep, and I had to be a people person for that wedding. So automatically losing sleep makes me crabby. So it just didn't fit into the whole equation. As I said, one decision can snowball. So after a bunch of begging and pleading, I just said, I'm not going to go. And she was okay with that. If people are not okay with that or want to make you feel bad or guilty, that's not okay. Maybe you want to slowly distance yourself from those types of people. Even though I did not want to do that activity at the time, but she was still supporting my decision in that it's cool, we'll hang out another time. So you'll start to be discerning about who gets to have your time. If it's hard for you to say no, I have another video about people pleasing and why it's an important muscle to practice saying no. I couldn't do it before. Couldn't do it. I would go to every party because I would feel bad to turn people down. Okay, so that's where we are going to start today. If you feel overwhelmed, let me just recap my 3 pieces of advice. Spend time with yourself. Number 2, start a journal. And number 3, identify and eliminate non-productive activities. Even if 3 things are overwhelming, pick just one thing that you can start today and tell me how it goes. Now, one thing that's so important, don't forget to celebrate each step that you take that's toward your self-development, toward your goal, and toward the betterment of you, no matter what it is. If it's to heal your anxiety, if it's to heal your inner child, if it's to lose weight. And all of these things to do, all of our problems have something to do with our inner child, how we were raised, our limiting beliefs. And you'll see that all tie together as we go. But don't forget to celebrate as you make progress toward your goal, because you deserve it. Thank you so much for showing up for yourself. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Let me know in the comments what resonates with you. And I'll see you next time. Bye.